They're going to have to show Harry and Meghan that they're going to have to lose something. That Harry and Meghan are actually losing. They're losing the grip, the handle on their way of life. They're losing it because they have sold their souls. They have sold their children. They have sold their humanitarianism. They have sold everything that they thought was meaningful to them. They have sold it and given it away to the devil. Hello YouTubers, welcome to my channel. I hope you are doing well today. I wanted to get into some really good information about what is to come for Harry and Meghan. Now we know that they most recently have gotten this deal with Netflix, and Netflix is no longer going to want to put up with Pearl. They do not want anything to do with Pearl. They want Harry and Meghan to come into a reality docuseries. We know Harry and Meghan are trying to push this off till next year, but Netflix is saying we want this to start now. We want this to coincide with Harry's book coming out later this year, and I can assure you that they're trying to push it back because they really don't want to do it. Because what they're going to have to do is going to have to be so insanely interesting that it's going to push Harry and Meghan to some very uncomfortable places. They're going to have to do things that they do not want to do. And when you put yourself in a position where you have to do it because you have essentially said yes, and now that yes to is now something completely different that you have to say yes to, you're put into a position that you do not want to be in. Their whole lives have now been compromised. And in this compromised life that they are now living, they're going to have to now compromise the intimacy, the privacy, the life of their children. They're going to have to put them on display to show the world exactly who they are. That means seeing your children. That's you interacting with your children. And we know this is very intimate to them. This is something they don't want to do. Why? Because we saw in the beginning, all we saw was a foot from Meghan's child, Archie, at the beginning. We've never really seen their faces. We've never really seen them interact with them in a way that was clear. It was always like black, white, blurry. What's going on? Like, what's happening? No, but Netflix, they got some good cameras and some good sound systems, and they're going to have them all plastered within their house, and they're going to have to display their whole lifestyles now behind those cameras, in front of the cameras. Their whole lives are now going to become for the whole world to see. Something that they spoke out so heavily against when they were with the royal family. So you take what they had been trying to do to hide their private lives, to hide their children, and now they have to show it to the whole world. What does that say to you? I know what it says to me. It says to me now that you have sold your soul to the devil. You have sold your soul to something that you do not want to do. And now you know you have to do it. I wonder now who Harry is saying is trapped. Does he realize just yet that he is the one who is essentially trapped? Don't know. But that's what it looks like to me. Harry and Meghan have really sold their souls. When I say they have sold their souls, they have sold their souls. So what has happened most recently? So now that we know that Netflix is going to have to try to get this good content from Harry and Meghan, because they will not allow Pearl, this little woke stuff going on, to be the content that they want to produce. Now Netflix is saying, or the Netflix specialists are saying publicly now, that Harry and Meghan are going to have to include their children in this docuseries for Netflix to want to move forward with this, because this is what's going to give them the content that they want. They're no longer going to be allowed to just talk about the things that they're doing and the issues that they may have had with the royal family. It's going to be talking about their children, showing their children's faces. And the moment that they had little Archie with Oprah during the special, they opened it up for their family to be included and discussed. And so I want to ask Prince Harry, who now is trapped? You're going to have to now do things that you never thought you would have to do. You're going to have to now show your children talk about your children, include them in your circus life. You're going to have to do things that you never thought you would have to do because you thought you were running the show with Netflix, thinking about, oh, I'm gonna have them. We're going to do this kind of content. Yeah, we're going to be woke. We're going to be woke like and talk about a little girl who got some superpowers. And she's going to talk about women from her past or women in the past. Like she thought that this was going to be some fluff pieces she was going to be able to produce. And now she is not in that position anymore. She wants to receive this money, this 100 million that she's gotten through her Netflix deal. She's going to have to produce some content that is going to make her and her husband very uncomfortable. They thought they wanted privacy before. They will have no privacy. They are actually selling their children now. They are selling their children to make money and to live a very high class lifestyle. They are doing something that is so off the mark that they thought they would have to do, that now they played with the devil. And now they have played so much with this going back and forth, trying to set the narrative for the kind of life that they want to live. They are no longer in the driver's seat. They are no longer doing the things that they want to do. And if they want to move forward and to not look like they have mud on their face, they're going to have to sell their children. And this is what has been most recently talked about with these Netflix specialists. And we know that they probably can't really come out and say that they've talked to executives at Netflix, but they can imply that this is what Netflix is going to want. When they say pound of flesh, oh, they mean a pound of flesh, like several pounds, okay? Like you're going to have to do things that you didn't want to do. You're going to have to compromise your whole situation. It's at a point now that it's becoming very tragic. It is becoming tragic for these innocent lives, these children that are going to have to now have their whole lives played out before the world for the sake of Harry and Meghan living a very high class, powerful, idolized lifestyle. It's taking them to a place now that is going to make them super, super, super uncomfortable. And Harry thought he was telling his brother that he was trapped. No, Prince Harry, I've always said it and I'm going to say it again. You are the one trapped. You are trapped because you don't have the guts. You don't have ability to tell your wife, no, I'm leaving this. I'm getting away from something I spoke out against pretty much since the death of his mother. This is not what he wants. They're basically saying for any good drama, you're going to need, any docuseries like this, you're going to need drama. You're going to have to feel like you're a fly on the wall. You're going to have to feel like you have the intimate insight to something that they would not normally share. Netflix is going to want to justify giving them all this money. And the content they're going to have to produce, what they're going to have to show is going to go to the most intimate, deepest, darkest places that they don't want revealed. And I think it's extremely harmful for the children because they're going to have to see this one day growing up and know that their parents sold them. They're selling their children for celebrity. They are selling their children for the sake of getting all this money from Netflix. When you really put it into perspective like this, and it's going to hurt their marriage. Every reality show that I have ever watched or was invested in watching, the marriage always suffers.